Today we are in sunny Madrid with Thibaut Courtois, who's going to teach us some tips on one-on-one situations. What's your first thought?
Yeah, my first thought is to obviously depends. I have to see if he has a defender with him or not, or he comes alone. There's obviously when he feels a pressure of a guy running behind him, like nearby, he will shoot quicker and his decision will be different than when he's running alone with maybe 5 meters difference. So obviously my first thing is if I see him coming and for example, I would always drop first back to the 5 yard, like the 5 meter, and stop here, so that obviously he doesn't see he can chip me or that's too easy. So the moment then that he comes inside the box, like the moment he steps in the box, is the moment I run out really quickly and straight, and I try to make myself obviously like go low to the ground, but then try to stay big. And then you have to see, obviously I think it's important to try and stay as high as possible, like on your feet, and not go too quickly because a lot of strikers, that also depends with videos we see before of strikers, you know, like a guy like Messi, for example, he can dribble you, then you have other strikers that prefer to shoot straight away. So with that I will also see. And then the moment I think that they shoot, what I always like to do is to put my knee down. So obviously I gain space, like I try to close the angle to not concede goals through the legs. And then with this feet, obviously I win space. You make yourself big, and what I like to do also is then put my feet out. So for example, the other day against Italy, I saved like this on Chiesa. So he came one-on-one with me. I went back to the 5 yard. He came into the box, he controlled the ball. I came close to him, and then obviously the moment that he's gonna kick the ball is the moment I have to stand on my feet. The moment I see he's going to kick or maybe make it, because the moment he will do like this, or he will make a feint, a move, or he will shoot. So that moment I try to be like this. So you see with Chiesa, I went like this with one leg, and I put this leg out like this, and the ball hit me here and went out. So obviously I'm 2 meters, so I can gain a lot of space. In Champions League against Perisic was a different situation, was from a more an angle shot. But also I went out quickly and I put this leg like this, so obviously you gain space like this. So yeah, that's a bit the technique I use, you know, to try and make myself big with my hands here, and like put one knee down to close the gap between you. Obviously if they shoot in the right timing when you're just closing, it can pass you. That's obviously a possibility, but I try to gain space with this leg and put this leg out.
And the timing, like from you going, you know, back and then forth, it's important, right?
Yeah, I feel like, because I would say that if imagine he's running down to me from midfield and I'm waiting on a penalty spot, a good striker from a little bit, he would just chip me, you know. So it's important, I think, to go back, to wait on the 5 yard, because also your defense is coming and running, man, and if you have a fast defender, he can maybe catch the guy. So if you run out, you are creating confusion. And because also sometimes I see others that goalkeepers that want to save the ball already here, and maybe the defender's there with him, and then the guy has an easy shot in his goal. So that's why I always think it's better to go back first, to let him come. So he has the pressure of the defense, and then the moment I see he comes in the 16 is the moment I come out quickly. And suddenly when he looks up, he will see you far away. He looks back to the ball to dribble, and then he will look up again to shoot, and suddenly you're in front of him. So it's also a bit the surprise for him. So that's a bit the way I handle it. It's like it's always a game between both, you know?
A psychological game, but it's not really like the classic way to do it, right? Because I've seen Schmeichel and even Oliver Kahn just running out and just going for it. I mean, there's a big risk, but would you ever do that?
It depends. Like obviously it's a situation. If you feel that maybe you can, because it's also in one-on-one, you have to be ready that if the striker push the ball a bit too far, you have to be there on the feet, you know. Then also nowadays the strikers are really good in diving, so they see, and it happened to me obviously a few times already, that they push the ball too far, and you maybe think you can go, you're a bit on the same time, and then they're just already falling. So you really have to make a decision of going in someone's feet, also on the right timing.
Yeah, I mean, for you, that is a very tricky situation, right? Because you don't want to, concede a penalty, but you still want to get the ball.
Yeah.
But how would you defend towards someone like anticipating is going to dribble you? Because going down, you're already down. How do you?
No, so when I feel that obviously the way when I go down on the knee is when I really expect the shot, then I really do this. Otherwise, I would just like run out quickly, wait in front of him like this. You stand on your front toes, that you're not like this, because then he moves and you're so then like this. So then if he moves, you can move with him, and straight away, like when he pushed the ball, or you catch it, or you run with him and you go quickly there and you run with him, So that's a bit the way I try to use. Just I think it's important really when he comes in to do the same, to close quickly the space. And when you're here and you're standing like this, not much can go wrong. You know? So obviously you have to watch out for the space between the legs. Obviously I'm tall, so a ball will be able to go quickly. So, but that's the same. Like I go quickly, and then the moment I see maybe he does like this, you do quickly this, and you stand and you. Then maybe I don't do like this, but then I just close like this, bam, and nothing can happen.
Is it different? Like, let's say that the striker gets the ball in the penalty box, and then he's one-on-one with you. Like, let's say he gets the ball very close to you.
Yeah, that's sometimes that's not easy, and where decision making is important, and where sometimes after I would see I should have done better, because if a guy gets the ball here, like for example there. Obviously, if there's the moment he receives and he controls well, he's ready to shoot.
Yeah.
So if I now want to go, and that already happened to me, the moment I do maybe like this, and you shoot there, I have no time to react. So then sometimes it's better to just, if you see the moment he receives and he's ready to shoot, just be ready for the kick, and then it just. Yeah, sometimes maybe you can gain 1 little meter and stop, then already you made your goal a bit smaller. But in general, the moment he controls the ball inside the box and he's ready to shoot, it's hard to gain meters. What can happen is, if you read well the game, the moment the pass is coming inside the box, I already see and I can anticipate the pass. So then already I can maybe gain a few meters. Yeah. Because I see maybe that you're running, the pass is coming, so I can gain a few meters and I'm in front of you.
And then the only solution for me is to pass back.
Yeah, or shoot, but the
chances are low.
Yeah, so that's sometimes what's not easy. Situations, a guy coming in the box from, like imagine a left back or a winger that made an action and dribbles inside the box. We tend also to want to leave the goal. But obviously
coming from this side,
there's a pass and your goal is empty, so sometimes it's better maybe to just let him come and wait here on the post, because that's something you have to read. You have to, before the action is coming, you have to know what's happening in your box, so it's important that you keep that vision. You see a guy running, and then you see there's one striker with 2 of my defenders, so I know I'm safe there. And then maybe I can anticipate and say, okay, I come to block you and I don't give you time. But if he has a real good option to give a pass, then maybe it's better to wait here and say, okay, shoot, I'm ready. I block my goal, you cannot come. You will give a pass back there. I do 1 step here, and I'm ready to defend my goal. Yeah. I don't say I will save it, but you give yourself more chance, because if I go here and I would just dive and you give a pass, the goal is empty, and then, but that's sometimes a difficult choice to make, and we goalkeepers have to make it in 1 split second,
Yeah, and that's also a question that, when it comes to decision making, right? Like deciding whether you should step back or take that step forward, you have to make that decision in a split second. Is that something you train, or is it something that is instinctively for you?
A bit of both. So obviously your instincts tell you sometimes to run out when you see a long ball, but sometimes that's also difficult, because when people watching the TV or they're sitting in the stands on the side, it's really easy to see the distance between the goalkeeper and the striker, and you say, oh, the goalkeeper has to come. But we see it straight on, so it's hard to say where the ball will bounce. So sometimes if there's with a defender, it's better to stay in your goal. And so decisions you have to make, but also you can train on it, like, for example, those passes or a striker running in is on training that you can really see, okay, now he runs 1v1, what do? I go out, and that's something you train, and you see when you're ready to stand, when not, or with goalkeeper coach, a pass to another goalkeeper there, and you make an exercise like this, like that maybe he can shoot, then he gives a pass and you decide, or you stay or when you see that you can go out and win some meters, you go, because also this guy can shoot in one time, in one touch, you know. So
then there's no time to react.
Yeah,
almost.
So that's something. The important for me with 1v1 and with shots is the moment he's gonna kick, you have to be on your feet and preferably on your front feet to react, and then you will give yourself most chance to save the shot.
I would basically call this the 1v1 encyclopedia by Thibaut Courtois. Thanks for being here and giving all the tips to the Unisport fans out there. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, and let me know who we should interview in the next video.
See you guys.